Hey there, good morning. Let's get going with a little bit of foam rolling. So if you're here early, we're gonna make the most of this time. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of reactive foam rolling. Hopefully you had a great weekend of outside playing and training, maybe even some racing. If you did race this weekend, be gentle with the reactive foam rolling. Be gentle with you. I can't, if you did race a big race this weekend and you showed up on Monday, that's a really good sign that you're recovering well. But hopefully you're kind of in bed. All right, so let's just get on the back of the glute. Support yourself. You don't need your full body weight on this. Sometimes less is more, and a lot of times less is more. So just nice and easy through the glutes. And you're just doing a scan here. We're trying to see how am I doing. There's not only an assist in recovery and an assist in moving better, but it's also an opportunity to really check in on how the body is functioning in the right and left side balance. So right side feels very similar to left side. I had a decent weekend of training, but I did a lot of working, so I sat in the desk a little bit, and I walked a little bit on the golf course. So just totally not a dramatic weekend for me. Okay, so I wouldn't expect to find anything dramatic when I do the scan. So just work it through your back and just nice and long here. So as you go into this position, let's just kind of work, pull the pubic bone to belly button, activate low abdomen, puts you into a little bit of a posterior tilt because we have some space behind the back because of elevating using the foam roller. So the foam roller's just below the shoulder blades, and we're just gonna pull pubic bone to belly button, flatten the hips, and just allow the pelvis to go into a little bit of a posterior tilt. And then we're gonna drop the pubic bone and just arch the low back just a little bit and go into that anterior tilt. So we're gonna toggle here, mobilizing the pelvis while supporting this your thoracic spine on with the foam roller. So just drop the pubic bone and then elevate the pubic bone. And we're just mobilizing the pelvis. You don't need a lot of movement here, but you do want to be able to control it. So this is one of the most advantageous, safe ways to make sure that your brain is talking to your lumbar spine and all the muscles that flex the hip and then extend the hip. So just nice and easy, moving through the pelvis. And then once you have that, you feel when the pubic bone is dropped, you're gonna feel pointy hips. And then when you elevate the pubic bone, the hips will be flat. And flat hips will be our indicator of neutral pelvis, okay? So just a couple more here. And good. All right, a little bit of extension through that thoracic, just nice and easy. Move around just a little bit. Even a movement of 1 centimeter or ½ an inch would just give you a whole nother experience as you mobilize the thoracic spine using the foam roller. Just nice and easy. A lot more people doing a lot more time in the pool and in the lakes and rivers. Swimming is starting to pop up a little bit in intensity. Let's go ahead and foam roll and cross fiber the lats across the rib cage. Just nice and easy. Again, you're not looking for pain. You're looking for movement. So if you elicit a pain response, it will decrease movement. So we're not looking for pain. Good. It's kind of an old school way of thinking, quite frankly, with the foam roller. That pain is an indicator that we need to go after it even harder and more. It's actually just an indicator that tissue might need more time so that it can give us the response that we want from it. So if you do put your tissue into duress, which you should, that's part of training, you don't want to go after it and poke the bear per se. Okay, just nice and easy through the foam rolling, through the lats, through the rib cage. Nice and easy. And good. All right, for the lower leg today, we're just going to go after that, not so much with the foam roller, but maybe a little bit more with the half kneeling series. So from here, we're just going to go to midnight with the knee, so it's straight out in front of you, and we're just pushing the knee over the foot, nice and easy. Keep the chest tall. We'll just give it some reps here. Knee over toe, knee over toe, knee over toe. I'm a pretty good example that just because you can get knee over toe doesn't mean you should be able to load that and squat with that position. I actually am not a big fan of loading fully flexed knees, so the pistol squat, you'll never see one of those in one of my programs. And it's not a big requirement, that full knee flexion and loading. But it is nice when you're in the half kneeling position to be able to put that knee into that flexed position to ensure that you're getting good lower leg loading through that Achilles tendon, through the soleus, and a little bit of that posterior tib. So just nice and easy there. Good. Grab the foam roller again. We're just going to take a moment and get those adductors. The adductors, when they get tight, they will actually put the pelvis on lockdown. So you always want to make sure that the adductors, you get that knee all the way up at the hip, and then make sure that the foam roller is perpendicular to the femur, and then just work through it 1/3 at a time. So the first third is down by the knee, and when we go down to the knee, we're going to go ahead and work a little bit of that internal rotation of the hip with that little bit of flossing. And good. And then we're going to go to the middle third, which is kind of the belly of the muscle. And then we're going to go to that first third all the way up by the pelvis and get into that adductor magnus. And when we get all the way up there, we're going to floss again. So just nice and easy. Just go into internal rotation of the hip. Good, a little popping and cracking, never a bad thing. Okay, other side. So the knee comes all the way up to the hip. We're going to work third, third, third. Down by the knee, first third. It's a little spicy. VMO doing some work, which is good. And then let's go into a little bit of internal rotation. And how smooth can that move, right? That's important. Good. And then we'll take it up to the mid adductor group. And it's a group of muscles. It's not one muscle. Muscles do not function in isolation. So when we talk about one muscle causing a problem, or one muscle not functioning well, or not strong enough, we're really doing ourselves a disservice. You have to look at a group of muscles. You have to look at how the body is functioning with all of the muscles. It shouldn't be like a solo act. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. So you would only deal with one muscle. But if you want to go far, go together. And that is that teamwork makes the dream work thought process. So having a team in the muscles works really well. Okay, we've spent a little time foam rolling the entire body. Let's just go into a little bit of happy hips, just nice and easy. Just floating along, good. And when you come to the front here, let's go ahead and add a reach. So we're just going to reach, and then we'll flop the other way. We'll come at you this way, and reach, and then we're going to flop this way. We'll add a reach. Just bringing that upper body into the story. Good. And good. All right, let's take it right back to that half kneeling position. And from right here, we were just at 90-90 and at midnight. Let's take that out to the side. Last week, we worked that big reach of the arm up and away. So we're working right shoulder, left hip. And just nice and easy into that. 2, just moving nice through all these movements. A few more reps today. Last week I think we got stuck on 6s and 7s. Today we're taking it up to 10. Good. And then same thing on the other side. So that knee is out at 45 degrees. Right knee out. Right hand is just going to place itself on the inside of the right knee. We're working that same knee over hip. And then we add that line through the belly. And just nice and easy. Good. Good. Eight, 9, and 10, and good. Okay, so for this next one, we're going to go ahead and go into the 90-90 when the knee is at midnight. We're just going to float the hands to the height of the heart, and we'll use that sphere of tension, right? So from right here, the left knee, everybody make sure your left knee is up, because this is important for cueing. We're going to take the left arm, take it all the way up, follow it with your eyes, all the way to the back. Keep your right arm all the way to the front. And then come all the way back to the sphere of tension. From here, we're going to switch arms. So now we're going to take the right arm to the back. And then come back to the middle. The whole time we do the alternating arms with this movement, I want you to keep this lead leg very still. So if you were running, this would be the leg, this would be your landing leg, right? So there's no load on it right now. So there's a lot of neurological control to a nice hip position being challenged in internal rotation and then into external rotation. So we're getting a lot of hip mobility even though we're not moving the hip that much. We're working the separation of the upper and lower body, which gives us that beautiful freedom in the thoracic spine, okay? So let's go 3 each side here. Float your hands to the height of the heart. Left leg is up. Left arm up and over. Whoa, balance. Sorry, left arm up and over. And back. And then right arm opens. And back. Left arm up and over. Up. And good. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. So lack of balance, and even just seeing me tip a little bit one way or the other, it can be muscle tightness. It can be just a little bit of disorientation with that vestibular system and when you look up and down, but it's good to practice it. Okay, so right leg out, hands to the height of the heart, right arm is going up, and open, and come back, and then left arm opens to the side. Right knee stays very still. 2, 3, and good. All right, let's repeat that each side 3 times. You might feel a little bit more tension or effort through the shoulders. This is definitely includes thoracic spine and shoulders. So it's going to give that shoulder even just a little bit more clearance as it relates and works with integrating the thoracic spine. Okay, left leg up, hands at the height of the heart, up and over. And then we're opening up the right side. Up and over. And we open. We're going 1 extra. It's starting to feel good, right? So if you practice it and you start to get these movements more ingrained, these movement patterns more ingrained within your brain, they're going to get easier and easier. And that's what we're looking for. Easy is good. All right, right leg up. Float the hands to the height of the heart. Right arm up. Up and over. Good. Last one. And good. All right, let's go ahead and take it into a standing position. Work a little bit of the hip hinge. Hip hinging is really important, maintaining the for production of power from the lower body, but also as it relates to the upper and lower body. So we want to be able to be stable in our upper body. So we use measuring sticks. This is from Doc Goodman from Foundation Training. You put your thumb on your bottom rib, your pinky on your hip bone. That is a measuring stick to ensure that you maintain space between the ribs and the hips. And you want to use the musculature to elevate the ribs off the hips. So let's set an anchored stance, which means the outside of the feet are going to be square, which puts the hips into internal rotation, which then anchors the pelvis, hopefully close to neutral, right? Some of us have a bigger lordotic curve. As long as it's healthy and you don't have pain, then don't think twice about it and just keep doing the mobility and moving through your pelvis. All right, let's set a measuring stick. Chin into throat, nice strong head position. Push the hips back, load the hamstrings, and then come right back up. 2, come right back up. 3, we're just gonna do 10 of these. 4, working the hip hinge, keeping the space between the ribs and the hips. 5, 6, 7, and this is what would create much more comfort on the bicycle as well. So if you could sit in this position and have it all come from your glutes and from your hips, your back is going to be way happier. 9, one more, sorry, sidebar, and 10. And we can strengthen the hip hinge in so many different ways. We can do it with a traditional squat, we can do it with a goblet squat, we can do a 90-90 split squat, we can do lunges, we can do deadlifts. We can do so many different ways to strengthen the hinge. But probably thoracic spine mobility and a wonderful hip hinge and ankle mobility and strength and resiliency in the lower leg are probably the 3 key things that we want to always make sure in these next few months that we're really paying attention so that the body is just functioning in such beautiful mobility and movement. I hope you have an amazing week. Thank you for joining me this morning. Happy Monday. To my friends who celebrate Passover, definitely thinking of all of you today. And yeah, we'll see you next Monday.